You know what they say, if at first you don't succeed, try again. And some of these queens really are trying. Very trying indeed. Welcome back to the Kiki. Thank you so much for joining me again this time around. What is this? Oh my god. 2 seasons in 1 year. Count them. 1, 2, boom! How exciting is this, guys? We've got All Stars 2 just around the corner, and I know that I'm a little bit late to the party because this video is where I'm going to be talking about the queens of All Stars 2, the 10 queens that are returning to the competition. I know that the cast list was released like a month ago, but I wasn't sure if I was going to do the Kiki for this particular season. Still not 100% sure, but I think I'm going to do it after massive public outcry. But I think I'm going to do it, but I'm going to try and do it a different way. I haven't worked it out yet, but it's going to be a different way. Anyway, that's beside the point. But what I did think I would do is just a quick overview, like my thoughts and opinions on the cast list for All Stars 2 of RuPaul's Drag Race. So I just want to get into this, guys, and I'm just going to talk about the queens in general because their Meet the Queens videos weren't all that interesting. They were kind of just saying what I was expecting them to say. And because we know them already, I was like, there's no point really reviewing them. So I'm just going to go through and see what I think. And then we can talk and Kiki and gossip about what we think about the cast list. So let's get into this. Also, make sure you stick around till the end because I'm going to be going through who I think is going to do really well, who I think is going to do really badly, and I'm also going to give a couple of predictions on who I think really could take the crown out of this lot. So stick around. So the first queen we're going to be talking about is Adore Delano. Party! So Adore Delano, what do I think about her coming back to the competition? I am not surprised she's come back. She was a funny, charismatic, interesting queen to watch. She certainly grew a lot. I think that she has found her niche now in the drag world. Like, she kind of does this sort of downplayed drag, like, you know, put on a wig, a bit of makeup, and then a vest, and she's good to go. And like, okay, that's fine. That's what works for her. She is kind of punk in that respect. So, you know, she certainly has found her niche, which I think she was still kind of looking for when she appeared on season 6. She has a huge following. She's been very successful post Drag Race, especially with her music career, and good for her. She's a fantastic singer. So I think when it comes to any singing challenges, she's going to really do well in this competition. The only thing I think that could let her down is if there happens to be any fashion challenges, creating a costume. Although she did win the ball, the gem ball, whatever it was. But I do think she'll struggle with anything to do with sort of perfecting a look because she hasn't really shown over the last couple of years that she is a look queen. She's a singing queen. She's much more about like the talent than the look, which is fine. But I think she'll come a little bit unstuck if there's a couple of creative challenges like that to do with clothing. Next up, we have the one and only, hi, my name's Alaska, what's yours? Yes, that's right, Alaska is returning to the competition. She is a fantastically funny queen. She has a very unique style about her. She has been very successful post Drag Race with not only her music, but with her comedy. She's been touring all over the world. She is just an absolutely brilliant all-rounder. Let us not forget that she was so successful in her season that she never had to lip sync and has really carved out her own niche because when she walked into that workroom, everyone thought she was like a Sharon Needles 2.0 or that kind of thing, and she has now fully established herself as a prominent queen. How do I think she's going to do? I think she's going to do really well. I think she is going to be gunning for the crown. She is really, really funny. So anytime there's going to be anything happening, she's going to want to make the joke, which will always go down well, I think. We also know that there is going to be a snatch game, so I think she's going to rock it. I don't know who she will do, but I think she will really do well in that. But she is a very, very good all-rounder, and I think she's really going to be focused and going for the crown. Whether she will rejoin Detox and Roxy to reform Relaskatox, I'm not sure. I don't think she'll do it, but remains to be seen. Next up, we have another season 5 queen, and actually, can we have a moment? There's 5 season 5 queens out of a cast of 10 this year. I think it's a little bit much, if I'm honest with you. I know there's been a lot of talk about the fact that it's basically season 5 2.0, Season 5, the sequel. I was a bit surprised to see half the cast be from the same season. But yes, so the next queen is Alyssa Edwards, one of the most unintentionally funny queens of her season. She doesn't even know how funny she is. She has been so successful post Drag Race. She has really created and built up the House of Edwards brand. She's now got herself Shangela, Laganja and Gia Gunn. They do amazing dance routines. She has her own web series. She is so supremely funny, has a huge fan following, definitely a fan favourite. Personally, I really love Alyssa. She is so whimsical and quirky and she doesn't even know it. And a lot of her, like, you know, tongue pops, like, I just love all that kind of stuff. So just the way that she speaks as well, the hobby lobby blah blah blah, and she just like clicks her nails at everything. She's brilliant. Obviously, with Alyssa being a pageant queen, I think she's really going to be going for the crown again. But I think there are still some hurdles that she may stumble over along the way. But I believe that she has made up with Coco now. So I'm hoping that that kind of won't be a thing again. Because we will get onto Coco in a minute. But yeah, so I think hopefully we won't have that kind of distraction from her. So she can kind of focus more on the competition. So yeah, basically that's Alyssa. The next queen up is Coco Montrese, another season 5 queen. I'm just really hoping, as I said before, really hoping that that whole feud with Alyssa is now gone. I just hope it doesn't flare up. I don't want to see that drama again. It dominated season 5. I felt quite pointlessly. I just didn't want that to be there. I think it distracted both of them and I wanted them to bring their A game and neither of them really were. I have to admit I was a little surprised at the addition of Coco on the lineup and to an extent Alyssa. I know that Alyssa has a huge fan following. She has the web series and Coco hasn't had that kind of prominence that some of the queens that I've just mentioned have. Although she's a very talented queen, we already have a lot of queens from season 5. I think perhaps, as harsh as this sounds, we could have perhaps swapped out Coco for someone like Trixie Mattel or another season 7 queen, another season 6 queen, you know, like Milk, or we could have Max come back. There's, I think, plenty of options that they could have gone for that would have at least created a different playing field rather than having 50% season 5. And I think, unfortunately, Coco could have been the one that could have been swapped for that. No tea, no shade to her. I love her. I think she was very fierce. No one can lip sync like her. But in terms of how many season 5s there are, if one of them was to go, who would it be? I think it would be Coco. That being said, she was obviously distracted in season 5. I think she's going to be really gunning for it this year. Her lip sync skills are second to none, but it just remains to be seen whether she will be able to step up to the challenge without the distraction. As I say, if that drama is gone with Alyssa, we will be able to see Coco in more of a natural environment and see what she can really pull out, because she was at a disadvantage by being so caught up in the Alyssa drama. Next up, we have another season 5 queen. We have Detox. Detox is an amazing queen. She is a great singer. She can turn out a really good look. I mean, that whole grey thing that she did for the reunion was oh my god, insane. And the fact that they even used that as a premise for an entire challenge in season 8 just shows that Detox has sway and influence and she knows what she's doing. I think she feels she has a lot to prove still, but we all know that she can do an amazing job. I'm looking forward to seeing what she turns out, and I think she's certainly a dark horse of the competition. Ginger Minj, we have a season 7 queen finally. Obviously top 3 material. She can sing, she can dance-ish. She can sing, she can act, she is really funny. I think she's going to be really trying to prove herself again, especially I think since she got to top 3. I think she really thought she was going to win, and I think she really wants to win. So I really think she's going to be like going for it. But I think if there's like a dancing challenge, it might kind of come unstuck, because she sort of struggled a little bit with some of the dancing ones in her season. So she might sort of trip a little bit, but I think she's really going to sort of do her best, and I don't think she's going to like let anyone get to her. She doesn't seem to have that kind of personality, so I'm looking forward to seeing what she turns out. I do like Ginger, but yeah, I don't really have a whole lot more to say about that, I suppose. Next up, we have Katya. I am very excited to see Katya. She is one of my most favourite queens ever. I just really hope that she is not in her head this time, that she manages to bring out more of her Russian character, that irreverency that she is now known for, that sharp wit, all that kind of stuff. I hope she brings it to the stage rather than just to the confessionals, because obviously her confessionals were really, really funny, but on the main stage and stuff, she didn't really have that kind of cohesion. But I think now that she's got the web series of with Trixie Mattel, and she's been traveling a lot, I think now that she knows that she has the fans backing and approval, I think she's really going to be going for it. I'm looking forward to seeing what she turns out. I just really hope that she goes like over the top. I'm very excited to see what she brings. She's funny, she can dance, she's got this amazing wit, her clothes are usually quite irreverent, so yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing that. Vivi OHara, we have a season 4 queen. She has really grown. The funny thing is, she was more of a pageant queen, and Sharon Needles was more of like a Party City kind of, you know, style, as they said. And the roles are reversed a little bit. Sharon is a lot more polished now, and Vivi is kind of embracing more of the alternative side of drag. So it's kind of funny to see how they've swapped. Vivi is a fierce with a PH queen. She is going to be going for the crown. As we all know, I think as well though, she's going to try and do some very concerted efforts to change public opinion of her. I think she is still fighting this issue where people hate her because she was hating on Sharon and everyone and was setting people up for a fall all the time. She has a lot to prove, and I think she's going to be on best behaviour. She has made a really good name for herself outside of Drag Race, especially at the moment with the 365 days of drag. She's trying to work on her personality and her persona, obviously. She's trying to just sort of change all that. I think All Stars 2 will be a very good platform for her. So I'm looking forward to seeing what she will bring. Obviously with her new alternative style, I think it's going to be very different for the judges. I think they're going to expect one thing and they'll get something very different. The only thing is she's not overly funny, so when it comes to something like a comedy challenge, she might struggle to keep up with the pace of people like Katya and Alaska and I suppose Ginger as well. Roxy Andrews, our 5th and final season 5 queen. I think in a similar strain to Fifi, she has a lot to prove. She has struggled, I think, to shake off the sort of the bitchy edit that she got in season 5. So I think just like Fifi, she's going to be on best behaviour. She's got a lot to prove. She is known for her looks. She is like, you know, perfection head to toe. She needs to work on the funny, sort of more natural funny. I think she sort of gets a bit too much in her head when she's trying to come up with a joke. I haven't really known a whole lot about what's happened to Roxy outside of Drag Race. She's kind of kept a bit of a low profile from what I watch. I watch a lot of the comedy queens, a lot of people on YouTube and things like that. She doesn't really have that kind of presence on there. So I would imagine that she's still back in the pageant scene and doing things like that. But I don't really know. So I'm a little bit like, I don't know what to expect. So actually, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing if she has changed at all. But if she hasn't, and it is just more about the look, she might struggle to keep pace because everyone's got to bring everything this season. Like the bar is going to be so high, and she's got to bring it all. She's got to be a real true all-rounder. And although she did get to top 3, she did struggle a little bit with some of the challenges, like the singing challenge and oh my gosh, like any comedy sort of challenges she sort of struggled with. And last but by no means least, we have a season 2 queen. We have the one and only Tatiana. I was surprised to see Tatiana on the list. However, I am thrilled that she is on the list. I think she kind of kept something of a low profile for a couple of years after Drag Race, and then she's really like worked on her craft. She looks totally different now. It's a lot more polished. Some of her lip sync performances that she does now are incredible. She has worked. Like W-E-R-K, darling. She has turned the party. The last sort of year and a half to 2 years, I've been quietly sort of watching what she's been doing, thinking, wow, this bitch is really turning it out. She has changed a lot. She has grown a lot. So I am really excited to see what she brings. I think she is the biggest dark horse of this competition. I think a lot of people are kind of counting her out, which I think is wrong too. Obviously she can be funny. She won the very first Snatch game. When you go on YouTube, she's a fierce lip syncer. You can see some of that. Her looks are amazing. She has this whole aesthetic going on. I think she knows what she's doing now, and I'm super excited to see what she brings. So those are the 10 queens, guys. I am so excited by All Stars 2, apparently as well because they're not doing teams this year, thank God! Because the team thing, the idea was there, but it just didn't really work, did it, like, at all? So, who do I think is going to go out early? Who do I think is going to do really well? Who do I think could win? Who's in contention? I think going out early will be people like Coco Montrese, Alyssa Edwards. I think Adore will sort of stumble maybe halfway through. I think maybe even Roxy Andrews and Minj could be kind of in that mix if a certain challenge is presented to them, they might sort of fall over a little bit. I think the ones that are going to do really well are Alaska, Detox. I think Fifi is going to really do well. I think Tatiana as well is going to do well, and Katya. I think those are the main ones who are going to really start pulling away from the pack. And so who do I think could really be in contention for the top? I think Alaska. I think Detox. I really would love to say Katya because I love Katya, but I think I think towards the end she'll probably get back in her head. It would be amazing for her to get that far, but I think just like season 7, I think she's gonna stumble again. But I also think Tatiana. I think Tatiana is the one to keep an eye on. Honestly, if I had to pick just one person who I think is gonna win, I think it's Tatiana. I think because she's season 2, she's had a lot longer to kind of perfect her post-Drag Race thing. She's been able to watch how it's evolved. I think she is the one to watch. She's going into this sort of as a veteran, a proper veteran. She's not going in sort of fresh-faced and kind of still new to the whole thing. She knows what she's doing. So I think Tatiana is the one to watch out for. So guys, I've gone through what I thought of the 10 queens, who I think is going to do well, who I think is going to do badly, who I think could even win. But now it's over to you. Do comment in the comments below. Who do you think is going to do really well? Who's going to do badly? Who do you think is going to win? Let me know if you have any different ideas. Also, are there any queens that you thought were going to be there or that you would really like to be there? Personally, I'm going to say it now, Trixie Mattel, would love to see Trixie, but oh well, maybe All Stars 3. What are you hoping to see as well? What kind of challenges do you want to see? So yeah, drop everything. Let's get this conversation going. Let's get the Kiki started. And yeah, let's... oh my gosh, I can't believe it. And the trailer should be out really soon as well. So I'm so excited for that. So yes, make sure you comment. Make sure you drop this video a thumbs up. And if you have not already, please hit the subscribe button so you can get all the updates from myself every time I post a new video. Also, to continue the conversation, please follow me on social media. I have Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Just search for Chris Says It. You should find me. But until next time, guys, be good, be safe, keep out of trouble, stay fabulous, and I will see you guys later. Take care. Bye! I'm always a bit worried that because I wear my trousers quite low, that whenever I bend over to get something in like the supermarket, it's gonna be like, oh, hello.